Can you introduce the video for me? I've done my mic in 1 second.
Oh, all these outtakes.
I could start the video with some outtakes.
I don't got time to hear about the criticism. Rap serial killer looking for another victim. Come and get your issue. Young woman with a 9-bit slashing at your muffins looks like you carry
Right, hello and welcome back to another video here on Thrill Riders. Today I'm doing something a bit different because we're jumping into Planet Coaster for the first time ever. I say on this channel, but I literally just started the channel. But yeah, not many people know that I have played Planet Coaster a little bit, but someone who's played Planet Coaster a fair bit more than me is my mate Jordan, who is actually joining me here in the video. Say hi, Jordan.
Hello.
There he is. And
That's it.
basically, me and Jordan are building a park together. We're sort of buzzing the park file back and forth between each other, and basically I'll let you describe what the aim of the park is, Jordan, what we're sort of modelling it around, I guess.
Yeah, so we wanted to go for a Merlin sort of inspired park. So thinking a bit more about the budget, it wouldn't be like your Disney and Universal where every single bit of the park is themed. There's obviously bits which won't look as good as others, or bits where the budget may not have stretched that far, but we still want it to look good and very realistic as much as we can. So we're thinking about back of house, what things would look like back there and stuff like that, and trying to scale it to the peeps the best we can. We'll see how we go on that one. So far we've not done too bad.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Yeah, no, yeah. I think that pretty much sums it up pretty well, because we're just aiming for the ultimate realistic UK park, I guess. And when in the next video, when we go to actually seeing the park file, what we're showing today isn't actually the park. This is just something I've been building in another map to go into the park eventually. But Jordan's been working on the park at the moment for the entire Main Street sort of entrance area of the park, which is looking incredible, and Jordan's done an absolutely amazing job on it. I can't wait to bring that into a video, which will be the next video. But yeah, like you said, it's just been a case of scaling everything correctly, and thinking about where there would be theming, where there wouldn't be, and just sort of ultimate realism, I guess. Which I'm hoping to have got into this dark ride, because this is basically what's here on screen is a dark ride that I've been working on, heavily inspired by Toon Blaster at Chessington, and it's safe to say you'll see that when we go through it. But yeah, it's when I go through it, you'll see, that there are a lot of emergency exits, unthemed walls, things like that. And yeah, I mean, because there's not in the game, there's not actually a ride type that would sort of work in the way that Toon Blaster does, in having a train with turning vehicles. You'll see what I've done. I've used basically the people mover, and I think that was the best way to get a train that you can start and stop and control the speed and things like that. Yeah.
The thing as well with the dark rides in Planet Coaster, a lot of them are high budget ones, which would just not be doable by Merlin. So there's like the Robo Coaster and stuff, which is really cool, but it's not in Merlin's budget. So
yeah, there's a lot of trackless stuff as well.
Yeah. Was you going for an older sort of style dark ride as well with this? So
yeah,
like,
I sort of,
kind of.
yeah, I sort of was thinking Terra Tomb, and well, that's basically it. I was thinking about.
Yeah.
I was thinking Terra Tomb the whole time. I mean, right off the bat, this is probably the most recent thing that I've done, which was starting to work on exterior theming for the actual building, because most of the show building will be like we saw at the beginning over here with the warehouse type paneling, but only the front area, similar to obviously Duel and other dark rides like that, they would only have like a corner area or whatever themed. So that's what we're going to do here. And yeah, let's not stall anymore, I guess. Let's go and take a look inside. Let's switch to nighttime mode. And
this building as well, we've checked the size of it, haven't we? So it's a similar sort of size to Jules show building, just slightly taller because, well, you'll see why. But yeah, it's slightly taller. But I believe that realistically it is sort of a similar sort of size to Jewel. So
yeah.
Wow.
It is quite the one thing I do think I was thinking about the other day, and I haven't even told you yet about this, Jordan, but I do think it is slightly too tall. I mean, if I go back outside, it is quite big, as in height. So I at least want to bring it down by one of these. I don't know, maybe about 2 or 3 meters of in-game height. And to do that, I'll have to sort of lift the flooring of some of the scenes inside the ride, which you'll see, but not too big an issue. I just want to sort that out. And also to explain here, I haven't finished this side of the building, obviously. There will be roof here and stuff. It's a work in progress. But yeah, let's go back inside.
With the height as well, like it is quite hard to do with Planet Coaster because they make everything huge. Everything is huge.
Yeah. So this is something me and Jordan talk about a lot. And I'm sure Jordan can explain it much better than me. Scaling. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the best thing to use for scaling in Planet Coaster is the Archer. Like, it's the only thing that is the correct size of the peep. So trying to find objects like what we've got on the shelves here, what you've put on the shelves, which are a similar sort of size, is so hard. As the original game, everything was huge. Like, one wall piece is huge compared to a peep, and some of the props are massive compared to a peep. It has got better in the later DLCs. Studios was one of the best for it, and there's a lot more stuff which is scaled properly to the peeps, so it looks a lot more realistic instead of just having a massive building that's like maybe 200 foot high next to a peep and completely unrealistic. So yes, we have tried to find things which are the right size, but more often than not you find a piece which is the absolute perfect piece, and then you click on it and find out that it's too big. And it's a never-ending story, never-ending loop. It has got better as well with the theme maker stuff on the workshop, but yeah, it's not ideal.
It's I mean, like you said, that I think it's something Planco, Frontier started to address with later DLCs, but it is really, really annoying. Which is sort of why I wanted to make this dark ride in the way that I did, because when it opens up to the main scenes, there's quite a lot of similar to Toon Blaster in a way. There's quite a lot of floor depth in the actual, what would you call that? The main sort of show area that the ride sort of circles.
The show scenes or whatever.
Yeah. So I've been sort of just moving around the station as we've been talking. This is there'll be I'm sort of not doing so much path work, because obviously when I copy this over to the main park, paths aren't included in blueprint files. So I am focusing on only really getting the actual main building done at the moment, and obviously we'll start over in the station. I don't know whether to just ride through on the ride or fly through.
Well, maybe ride through it and then fly through it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Let's click on.
I love your lighting here. Can I just say, the lighting in here is incredible. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
Very Merlin and very right as well. Right? Is that the right way to put it? Like, it's nice lighting. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. Keeping areas dark and light and whatnot. Here we go. We come out the station. We've got these. I don't really. There's some. Okay, so there's no real story at the moment.
We're working on it.
We're working on that. But you know, it's ancient. The tomb temple. I'm not really too sure. You'll see the Tomb Blaster resemblance in some scenes and whatnot. But yeah. So, like I said, we're using the People Mover style vehicle to, as it's just sort of the best sort of controlled motion train, I guess, which you can allow to stop in some scenes and whatnot. So, it's a shame we can't turn the ride vehicles, but oh well. It's working with the best of what we can do
what it is.
In the game.
I think as well.
What am I doing? There we go. Sorry.
Good. I think it's good as well because it's like a train, which obviously it is. It's a people mover, but it looks more like an older style dark ride. If that makes any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, it does.
It was in my head, and then it just came out as a brain fart.
So here's our first large scale scene. Got these interactive elements and, you know, a larger character there. Coming into a corridor scene. Lovely. Moving on through.
Going down the drop.
Here comes the drop. Scream if you want to go faster. There we go. Oh, I can't believe I just said that. For example, here's a first scene where we actually stop the train, and there's actually water jets spraying out, sort of supposed to be like cobwebs, I guess. But yeah, we're now going back downhill. You'll notice loads of emergency exits and things like that. And fences and stuff. There's going to be more of that put in. I haven't actually finished the whole technical services side of the ride yet. And obviously there's no audio at the moment, but it's a work in progress.
I really like how this has come together though. Like, a lot of people theme every single corner of a dark ride, but it's not always the most realistic thing. Like, there is dark corridors and dark rides that you just go down as a transition. And I really like that.
Yeah.
Really like that.
I wanted to make sure there was a bit of that in this, and this is going to be the exit platform. So yeah, I guess we'll, like you said, there's another train just pulled up in here. We'll start here in explaining what I wanted. So basically, in Planet Coaster, one of the things that annoys me quite a lot and annoys a lot of people is the stations being just, you don't really have much control of the station, and often they're quite a silly shape or size. So you'll notice there's no other half to this station. In fact, this ride operator over here is just in exile behind the wall, because I wanted to have this sort of wall element behind the train. So we've got a fake ride operator over here, who sits in here and does nothing because it's not a real ride operator. Yeah, so every light in the ride has a sort of rigging or is on some part of the wall where it would realistically be. We do have a transfer track type thing here out of the station. It's not done yet, but it would be under there. And yeah, one thing I want to touch on most, probably the most completed scene, is this first one. So you've got fire exit signs, electrical boxes and CCTV. And yeah, I mean, there's a train on its way up, so the lights will trigger back on in a second. But yeah, but this is probably the tallest scene, which I'd have to lift up. And to be honest, I did think it was a bit too deep anyway, looking down there. I'm sure you'd agree.
Yeah, is the whole base like one piece?
The legs for the statue.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
That could be one thing. You could maybe chop the legs off and have them elsewhere, or have them almost ruined next to it or something. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just thinking at the moment, but
I'm looking at the recording again. The FPS is going a bit funky. I don't really care though. I'll just if the frames per second in the video is not so great, please do not hate on me too much. I'm pretty new to this. I've never done this sort of video before, so yeah, stop whining.
There's a lot of lights and everything as well in there at the moment.
Yeah,
and the night trigger.
It's annoying because the FPS in game for me is pretty good, but it's just the recording. I don't know.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah. So again, here's a better look at this scene. I keep going into scenes when the lights are switching off.
It's really bad timing. The show flick off. What we're doing?
Yeah, so we've got this scene, lights, lots of lights on the temple. All these lights from above are actually on the temple, really. We've got 2 red lights on the spider, and then down from below there's 2 blue lights which hopefully try and illuminate the cobwebs a bit better, but they also sort of cast this blue light which look kind of creepy.
Might be worth pausing it while the train's going through.
Yeah, that's a great idea. There we go.
Then keep your lights on.
So yeah, I mean, that's that scene. This is one of the scenes, for example, that needs all the fire exit signs and stuff down here, but work in progress. We'll get to that. Like you were saying about a corridor where there's no theming, I think that's sort of here. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've got these fluorescent type lights above, which would be used in an evac situation, but they're obviously switched off. Fire exit, and with some control panels, and a little green light which shines up on this snake up here. Yeah, but there's no theming in here. There was initially, I put like star cloth type things, but then I thought there's quite a lot of putting things in and then stripping it back when you're trying to build this way. I'm pretty sure you'd agree.
Yeah.
To keep it sort of on a realistic level. And
I've not had it. Yeah, I've not had it too bad yet because I've been building mainly outside and not a coaster or a ride yet. But yeah, I think I will do when I get onto a dark ride.
God, I'm doing pretty bad at controlling this camera right now. Oh God. Yeah, and here's like the final scene, I guess. or would this be the final scene? This little corner element. I'm not too sure.
I feel like the final scene would be the snake, and then that's just like a finisher.
Yeah, it's just like a pass by.
Yeah.
And here is where that maintenance sort of sidetrack comes back out just before the exit platform. Here. And then to complete the circuit, you just pass under this. The empty train would pass under that cloth through this dark room straight back into the station. So that's a sort of basic tour of the ride itself. It all fits into this building really nicely. In fact, we were just saying before recording, this is the first one I made, and then I duplicated it over. So that's sort of, but the actual track layout is exactly the same, minus the siding over here. Yeah. So this will be brought into our park, and that sort of gives a good taster of what is just one of the rides, and how we're going about theming and stuff. But Jordan's half of the work. Can I call it the work?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? No, Jordan's been working on the main street, as I said at the beginning of the video, and that will be in the next video if I manage to sort out the FPS side of things in the recording. But yeah, it's a cool project, and let me know your thoughts of what we've shown you here, and what you think of what we're working on. I think it's kind of unique. I know there's a lot of other people that make Planet Coaster parks on YouTube and stuff, but I think you'd agree that it's like something that I haven't really seen many other sort of solely Merlin inspired parks.
No, I can't say. There's a few people who've done UK parks and stuff, which look pretty cool, but I think some of them do start to look a bit Americanized in places because of the pieces in Planet Coaster. So it's quite hard to keep it purely Merlin, but I think we'll give it a good go and see how we go.
Yeah. It's sort of, like we were saying, it's sort of that holding back, making sure that if there is a wall, would it realistically be themed or would it not? Because I think you'd be surprised about where theming would be placed or wouldn't be placed. So it's often quite easy in this game to just try and theme everything, which is not what we're trying to do. So
yeah. And with the main street as well, it was sort of like the front is all fancy, but the back is completely sort of just functional. It's there for a purpose. It's what they would do in real life. So we've been trying to think about stuff like that. So the front will look fancy, but the back is just a warehouse or just a basic building, in a nutshell.
Yeah.
And I know in the main bit we have got quite a large car park as well, and stuff like that. Just little things.
Yeah.
Just make it look more realistic. That car park took me ages. Do not talk to me how long that took.
Well, I can't wait to show people that in the next video, because it really does look special. I mean, everyone's gonna know exactly what each element is inspired from, because if I said it was the entrance area is the perfect clash between Thorpe and Alton Towers, I wouldn't be lying.
It's turning into like a best of the Merlin parks.
It's like, it's funny because I like to think that I can bring an element of Thorpe, and Jordan is very much Towers inspired, I think. So that's where our sort of workings come together. And it's going to be a cool project, a cool park to work on, and you'll actually see the park and the main street in the next video. But that's probably going to do it for this video. A good sort of look around on the progress of this dark ride and an explanation of what is coming, really. Would you say, Jordan?
Yeah, definitely. It's a bit of a little teaser, taster, whatever you want to call it. what's to come. Yeah, it's going to be good. I just hope the my laptop can handle it, because at the moment I know that the main street's taking up quite a lot of pieces, but we'll see.
You're currently doing just like the back of house area, aren't you, on the main street?
Yeah. So a lot of Tower Street, either above it or behind it, is offices and stuff. So try and maybe make something like that. Make it look a bit more functional, a bit more like a real park is running, basically. So yeah, we'll see how that one.
Yeah. So we'll bring you that in the next video, and if you liked it, then let me know in the comments, because I'm sure me and Jordan would like to know that you're enjoying watching us chat about Planet Coaster for however long this video will turn out to be. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next Planet Coaster style video.
Move back to the future. I don't got time to hear about the questions. Rap serial killer looking for another victim. Come and get your issue. Me and rolling with the 9 fist, slashing at you motherfuckers like I can carry you.